you mind, you two, not speaking about me as if I wasn't here?" I'd lost eye contact with the man across the room and was desperate to get it back. "Harriet, you are being a total idiot. Do you want us to tell him to bugger off or what? Come on, Grace and I are off into town without you if you're going to stop here with that boring little fart." Nuala was beginning to get cross. Downing the remains of her glass in one practiced move, she turned to leave, and then instantly sat down again. "Jesus, Mother of God, don't look now, but there is a most divine man looking in my direction. Don't look, don't look." "Actually, it's me he's looking at," I hissed back, giving her a poke in the ribs for good measure. "Shame on you," Nuala said. "You're practically engaged to this lovely man here." And, turning to Michael, she patted his knee encouragingly while taking another surreptitious glance across at the one. Michael might have been thick-skinned, or possibly just thick, I don't really recall, but all this whispering and giggling between Grace, Nuala and myself was too much. With as much dignity as he could muster, he stood up and, like Captain Oates of the Antarctic going to his untimely death, made his exit from the Union Bar with the words, "I'm going now, and I shall be gone some time." Nick and I had met up every evening for a week. I loved everything about him. Loved his voice, the way he said bath and class rather than bath and class with the flattened vowels that I'd been accustomed to hearing and using back home. I loved his dark blonde hair that he was forever pushing back out of his amazing eyes. I loved that he was over 6 foot tall and seemingly unaware of the female glances he attracted wherever he went. But most of all, I loved being kissed by Nick. In fact, Nick didn't kiss me at all until our second date, and even that was a brotherly sort of kiss on the cheek as he dropped me off home at the end of the evening. When he did finally kiss me properly, we were tucked into the corner of an Irish bar buzzing with noise, and I had to lean forward to catch what he was saying. As I moved towards him, he brought up his hand to my hair and simply kissed the corner of my open mouth. And I was intoxicated, not from the alcohol, but from a clear, absolute certainty that everything was as it should be. The anticipation of what was to come was almost unbearable, and I wanted to freeze-frame everything, absorb all that was going on around me, because I knew this was it. He was the one. I was in love, lust, call it what you like. I felt feverish, unable to sleep, going to lectures as normal, but unable to concentrate. Every part of me just wanted to drown in those chocolate brown eyes. So when, at the end of one evening, he'd kissed me on the cheek and said he'd call me, I was frantic to know when. When I'd not heard from him for 6 days, and this included a very long weekend where I'd hardly moved from the hall phone, willing it to ring and then snarling at the astonished callers when it did, I had to find out why he'd not been in touch. Disregarding advice from all the females in our shared house to play it cool, I decided to call round at the house I knew he shared with 2 other blokes from his course. This was conveniently close to the university library, so I figured it wouldn't seem untoward if I just happened to drop in, say I'd been to the library, and was there a coffee on offer. So, armed with a pile of books as my alibi, I set off. I was so nervous I nearly came home, but I really was desperate to see him. All the way there, shifting my books from one arm to the other, I rehearsed the nonchalant speech I'd deliver as soon as he opened his front door. Except he didn't. Open his front door, that is. Yeah. A rather ugly, sallow-faced guy, bearded and obviously just out of the shower, answered my timid knock on the peeling, sludge-coloured door. I was just passing, I garbled, and wondered if Nick was around. Well, he's around, but rather busy, if you get my drift. He leered at me, showing uneven, discoloured teeth. I felt as if I'd